Hey guys, welcome to the weekly roundup. It is Friday, January 26th, 2024, and a happy Australia Day to all the Aussies out there. It is our national day, so all the best and hope you're having a barbecue or two and a couple of frothies out there. Got all the Australian and world roundup to come, starting with what's been a massive 24 hours here in Australia because the announcement has been made. Tim Zooo will make his Las Vegas debut on March 30. That's in the States, that is, March 31st back here in Australia, of course, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, March 30 versus Keith Thurman. A little bit out of the blue, this one, I must say, but you've got to remember there hasn't been a lot of options for Tim. Aleksandar was the front runner for the fight, of course, but depending on what side of the argument you believe, that fight fell over. Team Zoo said they hadn't received a response from Lubin. Lubin was saying they either hadn't had an offer or were waiting on dates and all the rest of it. At the end of the day, the fight is off for now, and Tim Zoo, 24-0, will not defend that WBO 154-pound belt, by the way, against Keith Thurman, who's 30-1, because Keith Thurman is not rated by the WBO at 154 or 147. By the way, he's actually a former welterweight champion, of course, but not ranked at either 147 or 154, and hasn't fought for over 2 years. So the fight will be at a 155-pound catch weight, so no belt on the line. Tim Zoo against Keith Thurman. Should be a massive event. As I said, Tim headlining his first Las Vegas event, and where better else to do it than at the T-Mobile Arena. So, and the news even gets bigger and better for us Aussies, of course, because Michael Pretty Boy Zerafa, yes, the arch enemy of Tim Zoo. That's if you talk to the followers out there, that is. I don't think either guy would think that. But anyway, it makes for good publicity. He'll fight Aleksandar Lara, the Cuban, for the WBA middleweight title, so 160-pound title. Who would have thought that Tim Zoo and Michael Zerafa would both headline a card in Las Vegas together? It's amazing. So Zerafa Lara for the WBA 160-pound title. The co-main event of the show, though, even though Zerafa Lara is for a world title belt, will be Rolly Romero. He will defend his WBA 140-pound title against Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Romero 15-1, Cruz 25-2-1. And also on that card, Sebastian Fundora, who hasn't fought since being knocked out by Brian Mendoza. He will fight Sergey Bohajchuk for the WBC 154-pound interim world title. So Fundora, 20 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Bohajchuk is 23-1. Now, the fight obviously finalised or announced in the last 24 hours. It is actually on the T-Mobile website. Tickets to be announced, but the event is listed on the T-Mobile official website. So look out for tickets there. We'll also give you, or I'll give you as many details as I can if you are thinking about going to Las Vegas for the big event. And not just that, Liam Wilson I don't think it's actually been officially announced, but it's all over the place. He will actually fight Oscar Valdez, that I actually mentioned last week, in Glendale, Arizona, the night before on March 29. So if you're looking to get over there, a massive weekend for Aussie boxing with Liam Wilson, Michael Zerafa, and Tim Zoo, all fighting in big fights in the States. It is Easter weekend, so good luck getting away from that one, unless you actually take the family with you, I'm gathering. But all the best if you can get a leave pass for Easter, because Wilson's and Oscar Valdez fight is Good Friday, and the big Zoo Thurman card is T-Mobile on Easter Saturday. Now, it has been a little bit of backlash overseas about this fight, or this card. It is the first official pay-per-view of the new Amazon Prime contract with PBC. I think a lot of the fight fans, especially Americans, were expecting something bigger. I think us fight fans here in Australia think it's all well and good. We just want to see our guys on the big stage overseas, and we'll probably have to pay, well, we will pay pay-per-view money no matter where the fight, whether it's here or overseas. So we don't really care. We're not really fussed. But it has been a bit of backlash in the States about this. But Look, I'm sure once the event comes around, they will all be paying it and enjoying what should be a great night of boxing. Now, not to be overshadowed, the George Cambos Vasily Lomachenko fight will be officially announced next week. Now, just to backtrack a little bit, the Zooo Thurman fight will be officially announced on Monday morning here in Australia. So keep a lookout for that one on Main Event and all the social media channels that follow. So onto this one, Cambos Lomachenko. This will probably be pushed back to the end of next week. I'm probably thinking the official date will be May 12th in Perth. Now, a lot of the overseas followers and fans don't necessarily know where Perth is. Well, it's probably about the distance if you're an American from New York to LA. It's a fair distance. So, but a lot of people saying, why is it in Perth? Well, money talks, and the Perth government or the Western Australian government have put up a fair bit of cash to have it over there. And I think even all the better for this event to be over there. We've had events in obviously Melbourne, Sydney, Queensland, and why not Perth? So should be a great event there. They will fight for the IBF lightweight belt, the vacant belt from that was left vacant by Devin Haney. So a massive stadium event here in Australia for that one on the back of the Zooo Thurman fight. So what a big start to 2024 this will be. And more news on more Aussie elite fighters. Jai Opetaia, he's fighting next month on the Fury Usyk undercard in the rematch against Marius Briedis. Now, he's left the Tyson Fury that is training camp. Only sparred 5 rounds with the big fella. Now, all sorts of rumours swirling around. Jai Opetaia has come out. Well, the rumours are that he did drop Tyson Fury. I'm not going to believe or not believe because who knows what goes on in training camps. It's all hearsay, and a leak comes out and he gets magnified by 100 times. But the facts are Jai Opetaia has left the Tyson Fury camp. He's now back in Australia, finishing off his camp. So I'm not sure whether they'll be flying guys in for him in the last 4 weeks for some sparring. I'm assuming they will. But as I said, rumours of knockdowns and everything else going on over there. But at the end of the day, Jai has left. And it looks probably for the best anyway that Jai has come home to finish off the camp rather than just being Tyson Fury's sparring partner. So interesting. I'm sure the truth will come out at some stage. But that fight less than a month away. So what or probably 3 weeks away now. So what an event that will be in Saudi Arabia. Another Aussie fighter going overseas to take on the best is Wade Ryan. The I suppose you could call him the journeyman with a 22-11 record. He will take on former Tim Zooo opponent Takishi Inoue, who's 20 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. They will fight on March 18 in Tokyo for the OPBF and WBO Asia Pacific Super welterweight belts, or 154 pounds. So all the best to Wade Ryan over there. A little bit of an interesting one. Not sure whether the diehards will really be interested in this one, but on April 3 in Adelaide is the gather round for the AFL here in Australia, where all the teams get together for one weekend all together and play all 9 matches in Adelaide. There will be a boxing event that week to coincide with that. Joel Camilleri will fight Joel Pavlidis in the main event. Benjamin Bomber also on that card. But there'll be 4 AFL fights on the card as well. I know you're probably rolling your eyes at the moment. It's a little bit cringe, but for the AFL fans, they'll love it. Former Premiership player Kane Corns will fight Nathan Brown, former Richmond and Bulldogs player. 2 Premiership teammates for Collingwood, Dane Swan and Dale Thomas, will lock horns as well. Anthony Rocker, who played for Collingwood, will fight Corey McKernan, North Melbourne Premiership player. And Mitch Robinson, former Brisbane and Carlton hardnut, he'll take on former Richmond player Kane Pettifer. All over 4 rounds. So that's April 3 in Adelaide as part of the AFL gather round. So if you're over there for the footy and you're a boxing fan, then maybe go check that out on April the 3rd. On to world news now. In the female ranks last weekend, Natasha Jonas with a 10-round decision over Michaela Mayer in a controversial decision. I will say I personally thought Mayer just did enough to win, but Natasha Jonas defended her IBF welterweight belt and moved to 15 wins, 2 losses and a draw against Mayer, who now falls to 19-2. Scores 96-94, 96-95 for Jonas, and 97-93 for Mayer. This weekend, Jaime Munguia, 42-0, will fight John Ryder, 32-6. They'll fight in Phoenix, Arizona. There is talk that if Munguia gets past this one against Ryder, that he might be in line for the May fight with Canelo Alvarez. So a lot at stake for him. On the undercard of that show, Oscar Colasso will fight Ramirez Gutierrez for the WBO minimum weight title, and Gabriela Fundora will fight Christina Cruz for the IBF flyweight female title. So plenty going on that card. It is on DAZN on Sunday. I think it starts at about noon, the card. So if you've got DAZN, make sure you check that out. There is talk, Joe Joyce, who's coming off 2 back-to-back losses to Zali Zhang. He'll fight Cash Ali on March 16 in Birmingham. So Joyce is 15-2. Ali 21-2. Some fights that are on the horizon, not officially announced yet, but are very close apparently. The long-awaited unified light heavyweight title fight between Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev is rumoured to be June 1 in Saudi Arabia. So for all the belts. So let's hope that one gets across the line. Inoue will fight, rumoured, against Lewis Neary, who's 35-1. On May 6th at the Tokyo Dome. Now, you might be familiar with the Tokyo Dome. That is where Buster Douglas pulled up probably the biggest upset in boxing history when he knocked out Mike Tyson in 10 rounds back in 1990. So he will defend his undisputed 122-pound belts against Lewis Neary at the Tokyo Dome. And again, just hypothetical that maybe Sam Goodman might be next if he keeps winning. Another prospective fight, Chris Billam-Smith is rumoured to be fighting Richard Riopore in late March in a rematch. Billam-Smith 19-1 and Riopore 17-0. Billam-Smith's only loss was to Riopore a couple of years ago. So we'll see what happens with that one. That's, as I said, rumoured to be late March. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And one last one, which is an interesting one, is Kell Brook. Will we see him come back? The rumours are that he will come back and fight Chris Eubank Jr. in a massive English fight. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Just rumours at this stage, but Kell Brook hasn't ruled it out, has put some teasers out that he'd love to fight Chris Eubank Jr. Whether or not it comes off remains to be seen, but could be a big all-England fight over there with Brook and Eubank. So that's it for this week. Again, massive news with the Zooo and Thurman, Zerafa, and Lara fights being announced, and hopefully next week the Cambos Lomachenko fight being officially announced as well, or officially launched. I think the date's pretty much locked in, so we'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. Hope you have a great weekend. Again, happy Australia Day, and we'll catch you next Friday.